It looks like some warm weather coming up. I actually saw somebody out on Beetle Lake ice fishing the other day, and the person I was with were like, are they nuts? You know, I was cold earlier, but now I wouldn't go out on the lake now. And if you're into ice skating, my friend Joan has a little mini ice rink at her house. I notice it's looking kind of soupy, but you've always got a great alternative to take the family out or to just duck out on your lunch hour or whatever and check out the Rink BC. Yeah, it's in business. It's going strong in downtown Battle Creek with new ownership. Rick and Jennifer Powell became the new owners of the rink not too long ago. And Jennifer is with us this morning to talk a little bit about it. Good morning. How are you today? And for some reason, your microphone's not working. It's a beautiful day to hear you talk. Try it again.
Good morning.
Okay, maybe it does work. I'm sorry. You and your husband bought the rink when?
We closed in the beginning of October.
Wow.
So it's been about 12, 13 weeks now, and we're excited about it. It seems to be going really well. A lot of community support, and we're looking forward to the future.
And it's been a challenge, no doubt. I decided to do a little research on the rink, and so I Googled it, and up comes this, reviews, how people can review online, and somebody says, worst rink I've ever seen in my life. And then I look at the date, and it's like 2015.
Yeah.
So it's like, almost 2 years ago, well before you bought it.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a challenge to run a business like that.
It is, but I think there's a lot of opportunity. I'm a sales and marketing person by trade, and my husband's an engineer, and I think we look at that facility a little differently than perhaps ownership in the past has. I think that rink in the past has been very hockey-centric, and we're looking at expanding that. Hockey is incredibly important to us. My son, plays, and we have a wonderful association, the Greater Battle Creek Ice Hockey Association, which is just the best in the world. I don't think we would have purchased the facility if they weren't there. But I think if we look at it a little bit differently as a business, that there's great opportunity just since we've taken ownership. Expanding open skates and having consistent open skates have really helped bring people in the door. And then once they come in the door, they're seeing a different atmosphere, a new parking lot. We've painted the building. We've cleaned it up a ton. We have all brand new rental skates, and we're looking at changing that environment a lot.
I went down yesterday just to check it out and take a few pictures, and I've shared those online if you'd like to see them at WBCKFM.com or our Facebook, WBCK News. And you can see some of those photos. There's about a dozen of them up there, and even a picture of the open skate schedule, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But you mentioned you had a son that played hockey. Is that what got you and Rick in the door and just familiar with our rink, or did you go there previously?
I went there in high school, and I remember back the days when the Battle Creek Bullets were there, and it really was the place to go on Friday night. But the exposure now is through my son. My son has a good friend, Tyler, who plays, Tyler Schmidt. He'll be excited to hear his name. So, we went to a try hockey for free day, and my son had been into a lot of different sports, and really, he was good at them, but not really in love with them. And when we went and did try hockey for free, he just fell in love. And so we started looking for times he could get on the ice so that he could become a better skater. And we had some difficulty finding some consistency there, which is why consistency on open skates is really important to us. But then as we started to meet the Greater Battle Creek Ice Hockey Association, that's when we learned the facility could potentially be for sale. They introduced us to the Battle Creek Community Foundation, which is a phenomenal group of wonderful people, all the things they do for our community. And the more we learned about where the facility was at that point and where it could go, we just thought it was the perfect opportunity. My husband and I had been looking for a business for some time. We really wanted to invest in the community, and if you will, all the stars aligned, and it was a really a good opportunity. We thought we could put a good stamp on.
I meant to look up the history of the building, too, and I didn't do that. Do you have any idea how long it's been around?
So the building was built in the late 80s. At that point in time, it was built by the city, kind of after the big wins in the Olympics. There was a huge initiative across the nation to build these ice rinks and give some kids exposure to hockey. And once it went from the city and then it went to a private owner, and then we since purchased it from that private owner.
I see. And do you get any help from the city or?
The city has been, there are some updates that need to be done to that facility. The city has been phenomenal in guiding us code-wise what needs to be done. They've helped us with understanding the history of that facility and where things are. The Battle Creek Community Foundation has been phenomenal as well, connecting us to different contractors and different names, folks in the community that we know we can trust to help us get on the right path. Because we've done quite a bit of updates to the facility, from the parking lot to the roof, all new gutters all the way around. And
oh, really?
Painted the building.
Oh, my goodness.
New heating and furnaces. So.
Well, I noticed the heat. I mean, I walked in and I was like, boy, I don't know if I could work here. It's kind of chilly in here. And, your employee was all bundled up. And I went into the bathroom, which, by the way, was very clean and modern. Looks like you spent some money in there, too. Yeah. The bathrooms are nicely heated, I will say, and several other rooms there, too. Well, we'll talk about, some of the work that you've done on the facility when we come back in just a moment. Jennifer Powell is with us, one of the owners of the Rink BC in downtown Battle Creek. Jennifer Powell is our guest from the Rink BC. That's the new name, right? The
Yes.
Rink BC. It used to be just the Rink, and then I think it was Revolution Arena for a while, because that was the name of the hockey team, right?
Yes.
The Revolution. And now it's the Rink BC. And, the first thing I noticed when I came in there, it's this big wall of skates that look like they're new.
They are all brand new skates, both hockey and figure skate. We go all the way from a size 6 toddler up to a size 13, which is equivalent to about a size 15 men's shoe.
Okay, so there goes that excuse for anybody who wants to, I don't own any skates. What does it cost to rent a skate?
So skate rental is just $1. So for open skate, we charge $5, and then if you need skate rentals, it's an additional $1. From what we found, really the lowest in the state.
Holy cow, $1 to rent skates, $5 for open skate.
Yes.
We'll get to the schedule on that, too. The next thing that I noticed when I came in was that the ice looks like it's pretty good ice. Now, that wasn't always the case recently, was it?
That is true. A little bit over a year ago, there was some significant issues in the old system. And since then, there's been great community support. The Battle Creek Community Foundation and the Greater Battle Creek Ice Hockey Association were able to step in and place a new system. A little bit different of a system than they historically had there. The old system was kind of under the cement slab. The new system is what they call a portable. So it's actually plastic tubing above ground. But it's providing phenomenal ice and, working very well. The system was actually in all summer. The first time I think that rink has ever been open all summer long. I
was going to ask you about that because, right now, as I mentioned when we started, conditions outdoors are not too conducive for pond skating or anything else, or lake skating. But, great inside the rink. But what about July when you're like dying of heat? Can you still go to the rink?
Yeah, we're looking at the summer schedule for this coming year. There are some facility updates that we would really like to do, such as placing a new dehumidifier. And as we look at the demand for that ice, there may be some summer months in which we do take the ice out so we can do those facility updates, making sure that we do it in a time in which demand is low. Last year was very tough for our Ice Hockey Association and as they were traveling to find ice. And we want to make sure that those that support us locally, we have that ice here when they need it during the winter months.
A couple of weeks ago, the Red Wings game was canceled in Carolina. Freon leak. And they found it early in the day, but not in time to fix it and then make new fresh ice. I mean, that's got to be a complicated thing to keep ice on that floor.
It is, but it isn't. My husband's an engineer, so he understands that part. We have phenomenal employees that worked at the facility in the past, so they know the history, they know that system. And we have great partners from Johnson Controls that are able to help us and make sure that that ice maintains and stays there. Since we've taken ownership, we've had no issues with that ice. It's been consistent and it's been available. We've actually increased the temperature on the ice, and the system's holding very well.
When I came in yesterday, the hockey team had just gotten off the ice, and they were upstairs. Looks like they were doing some calisthenics and workout up there in their area. But it's not just an ice rink. There are, obviously, though, it has seating. I don't know. I figured, about 800? 1,000 people can fit in there to see a hockey game or another event. And I looked at those bleachers, too, and they're not like aluminum or metal, thank God, or your butt would freeze. They look pretty comfortable as far as bleachers go. They are.
I've spent many hours sitting in those bleachers myself, and, I always say if I'm above row 5, I'm pretty darn comfortable there in the ice rink. Row 4 is about where that overhead heating starts.
Oh, okay.
So I like to sit row 5 and above and can sit there in my long sleeve shirt and be quite comfortable for hours.
There's a good tip, yeah. Now, something else I noticed, too, in fact, Jen, your employee, told me, you got to go down and see the Wolves Den. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the Wolves Den?
So the Wolves Den is our community room at the far side of the bleachers. That was one of the first rooms that we put our touch on. We took out, used to be kind of some countertops and different things in that room, and we emptied that out and made a nice big community room, put the Wolves on there, calling it the Wolves Den, and we're really using that as a community room. We've had some businesses rent that out for meetings, and many of our community members use that for birthday parties.
Yeah, I noticed there's a chalkboard in there that says happy birthday, and I thought right away, oh my goodness, what a perfect place to have a birthday party.
Yeah, we've had huge demand for that room and for birthday parties in general. When we offer a birthday party package, they get an hour on the ice or an open skate time, and then they're able to use that room for an hour or a little bit more. And we write the birthday party person's name on there. We put some chalk so that people can write special messages to them. You probably saw the table that sits in front of that. We usually use that for gifts and cake, and it's great to see all the photo ops and the pictures that folks take in front of that table. It's a great memento.
It was nice and warm and clean in there, and you have one of those laminate floors that looks like wood. That's very cool.
Yes.
And yeah, so I mean that's a great perk too. And then they're obviously the locker room area for the hockey teams and stuff.
Yeah, so we outside of the community room, we have 4 heated locker rooms, each with private bathrooms, and then the Wolves, our junior team, has a private locker room as well. The old system room, we've actually emptied out, and we're looking at putting a 6th locker room in there. That to come. That will allow us that when the junior team is playing, their rival team can be in the bigger locker room, and that will open up more locker rooms up front for us to put in more games.
Great. And I guess you could probably always use help to make this an even better facility. And the biggest help, I guess, is having the community turn out to actually use it. I want to talk about how they can do that, how we can help, how we can support the rink in downtown Battle Creek. When we come back in just a moment, we're talking with Jennifer Powell of the Rink BC. Tim Collins in for Richard Piet, and I am talking with Jen Powell, who is the co-owner of the Battle Creek Rink, or the Rink BC, downtown Battle Creek, right across the street from the post office. And we're talking about a lot of improvements, all new shoes for rental. It looked like a lot of paint.
Yes, a lot of paint. We've, on the outside paint of the building, it used to be brown, and now it's black and white, trying to go for, more of a modern vibe. And we painted inside. We redone a concession stand, working a little bit on the locker rooms, and of course the Wolves Den community room got a whole new look.
Yep, and good ice and good ice making equipment. So a real solid foundation and some real progress, I think, at the rink. Mm-hmm. There's just something kind of unique about skating. I guess I would almost say something very romantic too. My wife watches all those Hallmark Christmas specials. Mm-hmm. And every other one was about skating this year, I swear,
We felt that, too. It seems like every time we turn on the TV, they're skating.
I know, and you always see these, love stories where they go to Central Park and they skate, or they go to Rockefeller Center and they skate, and, somebody doesn't know how to skate, but they have fun and they learn. And, I mean, what a great experience, and it's probably something that we haven't thought of, Hey, we could take the whole family, or we could go on a date, or we could just go with our spouse and go down and do the open skate. What a wonderful time that would be.
Absolutely. We've seen a good variety of each of those. We've had calls, young men calling, taking their lady out on a first date and coming down to the rink, which is fantastic. And a lot of families, a lot of actual grandparents coming on the ice with their grandkids as well.
A great way to create memories that'll last a lifetime. What about the schedule? How often do you have open skate?
So we have open skate consistently every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 4:15 until 5:45. And then we also have additional open skates around games. An example, this Saturday we have the GBCAJ Bruins games all day, a couple birthday parties. And we have an evening open skate from 7 on.
There you go, 7 to 9 this Saturday night. You could get down to the rink. Also, tomorrow there'll be an open skate 4:15 in the afternoon for an hour and a half. And open skate on Sunday afternoon.
Yes, Sunday's a very popular day for open skate. We darn near sell out every time.
Yeah. And, obviously, there are a lot of opportunities for people to enjoy the rink, get involved with the rink. What about sponsorship opportunities? What do people get, and what do they pay?
So we just released a new sponsorship package. In the back of the building along the wall, we're looking at placing some banners. Those banners are $1,000, and those banners will be in place through April of 2019. And what the individual that sponsors that, whether it's an individual or a business, we produce that banner for them and we hang that for them. And we will be communicating those sponsorships not only on our website, but our Facebook page as well. Our Facebook page on average gets about 400 hits a day. So it's a very popular site. And
I put a link on our website to your Facebook page if people want to get there.
I appreciate that. That's one option. We also have locker room sponsors. Locker room 1 and 2, we need some updates as far as lighting and new painting. So we're looking at hopefully, a business or an individual to come forward and sponsor those locker rooms. Going forward, it will no longer be called Locker Room 1. It will be called Locker Room, ABC Company. Mm-hmm. And looking forward to making a better environment for all those who play down there.
In addition to all those repairs and upgrades and work that's being done, that's obviously helped a lot of contractors in the community. But what about just jobs? How many people do you have working?
So we have 5 full-time individuals working, and then we actually allow or ask and invite the association members, those that may need some assistance paying for ice fees or to play, or even those that want to come out to open skate or drop in hockey. They can work, our concession stand, and then we make a donation in their name towards their ice fees. So we have more than just our normal staffing working down there. We're making sure we're partnering with the association so everyone who wants to play can.
That's so great. So great to see. If people want to contribute or find out more information, is your Facebook page the best alternative, or do you have a web page or phone number? What do you prefer people use to contact you?
We are open to any of those options. So we have the Facebook site, which is the Rink Battle Creek. You can contact us or find us online at therinkbattlecreek.com. You can email us at therinkbc@gmail.com, and we also have a new phone number of 963-RINK. Can't tell you how excited I was when she said that number was available.
963-RINK. I mean, how easy is that? And so you can call and find out when the open skate times are. You can also check my article at WBCKFM.com. Scroll through the pictures, and you'll see the schedule. I snapped a picture of the open skate schedule for the next month or two. So, Jennifer Powell, best of luck to you and Rick on the Rink BC, and thanks for coming in and telling us about all the exciting things that are happening.
I appreciate it. Thank you.